Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. I hope you're having a great day and I hope this video can make it a little bit better. Today is going to be different than any videos we've done for a while. I'm going to go through and play through a Pyke adventure and just be constantly trying to give you as many tips and tricks, because with Pyke, especially depending on what level you have him at, there's a lot of different things that should be going through your mind on making just the best decisions possible. So this won't be anything taken from stream. This is just me here for you on YouTube. And while I do try to give you different tips and tricks in pretty much any of my gameplay videos, this one is just solely dedicated on what you should be thinking about while playing Pyke, especially at every single different level for your Constellation. Now, I do have Pyke at 6 stars, have been playing him a good amount, and so I'll be giving tips for every one of these skill brackets, not just for 6 stars. Now, I will be doing a normal dedicated guide for Pyke, but this is just going to be a kind of gameplay guide of while you're playing, what you should be thinking about, and some of the decisions you should be trying to make. Let's first go over some of the important parts of the Constellation, though. So, up first, whether or not you have the 4-star for Pyke. Allies everywhere cost 3 or less, are lurkers, and have lurk. So if you have this, but you haven't gotten past it, then obviously you want to make sure all of the units you're getting are 3 cost or less. So while you're going through the adventure, the entire time, you're just trying to make sure everyone is 3 or less. Making sure you can always get your lurk off is so important. So you always are trying to just, anytime you're evaluating a card, be thinking, is this going to increase the chance that I can lurk or not? And you're just almost always picking the decision that's increasing your odds. So if you just have this, then you're just trying to make sure everyone that you're getting is 3 or less, and that's just going to be the main focus while you're playing. Now later on you get some other upgrades, like your support champs have Mariner's Ruse. If you have this, then you could get a champion that's above the 3 cost as long as their support package is below 3, because then those cards will still be lurkers, and then the support champion regardless will also be a lurker. Or if you get the other upgrade later down here, followers you require in adventures that cost 4 or more have Mariner's Ruse. So this really opens up the game for you, and now you don't have to be worried as much about getting those cheaper units, since pretty much all followers you're going to get are going to have lurk on them. Now for the 6-star, it's slightly blocked here, so I'll go ahead and try to quickly just move my camera up a little bit, but you can see your spells everywhere have lurk, and then when a card lurks, if it's a follower, summon it attacking, otherwise draw it. This is another part that's really going to be changing how you play. Now, this doesn't mean you want to get spells. This just means you don't get punished if you happen to lurk with a spell, but still with Pyke, no matter what level you're at, you always want to be staying away from spells unless it's just absolutely busted. Because if you don't have your 6-star, then your spells are going to stop your lurking, which is terrible. But even if you do have your 6-star, what would you rather have? A spell or to summon a free unit attacking with you? It's almost always going to be summoning that unit. And so you're actually wanting to get as many followers as you can and just staying away from and often cutting any spells, even if you are at the 6 stars. Now let's quickly go and move over to the relics and just quickly touch on how you want to be thinking about making a relic build for Pyke. Now, first, I'll say the Beast Within is absolutely fantastic. You almost always want to be running this. So power, allies have Overwhelm if they have a subtype 1/1. Both of these are just so good for your Pyke. Making sure all of your units have Overwhelm just gives you so much extra damage. And since all of your units are going to have Lurker, or at least you're going to try to make sure they're all Lurkers, they're all going to get that extra 1/1 because that counts as a subtype. So this is amazing. You pretty much always want to be running this if you have it. For me, though, there's kind of 2 different ways to build Pyke. You can either go for a Pyke build where you want to drop him and have him just annihilate the entire enemy board, but that normally means you're going to be playing him later. So normally you want to go for 1 or 2 Stalker's Blade and then maybe some stat relics. So if you maybe don't have the Beast Within, maybe go double Stalkers plus a stat relic. But for me, since I have Beast Within, going for Beast Within, Stalker's Blade, and then his Deadly Harpoon. The extra power makes it so your strike is going to hit harder. Also Pyke, the later you play him, he's going to be stronger and stronger because of that lurk effect. And then here, getting the deaths from below, pretty nice. These have some great items on them. So this is one way to play your Pyke, where you're not going to be playing him as much, but when you do play him, he's then going to start just wiping the entire enemy board. Now, another build you can go with is going for a cost reduction build. So especially if you have Pyke at 5 stars, you could go for something like this, where with the packed powder, and the Raven army, this is going to hit the enemy nexus, triggering that plunder. You can then immediately play Pyke round 1, and this way you can get Pyke on the board, play with him the entire game, and you can often level him up a lot faster. And if you really want to be playing with Pyke, this is far more consistent. With the other build, quite often you'll be ending the games without ever playing your Pyke. So it's kind of just a difference in whether or not you want to focus on your Pyke or not. I think both of these general playstyles are very good. And here, if you don't have the epic relics, you could still throw on some Scourge to stash. And especially if you have Beast Within, but even without it, you normally are putting on enough pressure, you can still get the plunder going. So you can still then play Pyke pretty early. And I think getting him on the board so we can get those attacks in, but also attacking, blocking, just anything to help his level up because it's just doing damage. So just having him on the board is very helpful. Still a fun way to go for your Pyke. Let's go ahead and hop into a game though. Here we'll just be going into a Aurelion Sol. Now Pyke can clear like all the content in the game, but for this video we're more focusing on the gameplay element and not wanting to focus as much on the encounters. So let's go ahead for Aesol. He should just be a good setup for us for a lot of the points we want to bring up. All right, so here we are in game. Let's take a look at our first power. So let's see, here are some of the things you want to be evaluating. So reunited allies have 1 power. Not bad. With Pyke, you're mostly focused on your units, pushing as much damage as you can. So just getting that extra bit of damage, pretty good. Here we have Whoosh, game start, summon a Disciple. Now this is going to be below a 1 cost, so this is going to have your Lurk, at least if you have him at 4 stars. So it's like, okay, we get another Lurker. You do have a bit of an issue with this transforming into a spell, not just sitting on your board. Still would be decent, but here I'd probably go with the Reunited. But let's try 1 reroll just so we can show some more powers. Here, Dragon's Rage. When you summon ally granted Fury, it's a dragon. Again, you're normally very unit focused and you're already focused on scaling up through your Lurk. So getting another form of scaling is really nice because as your units get killed, they'll get stronger and stronger. Also, Fury is not bad because if we ever see the option to get Evolve or Evolution, where we get 1/1 for each keyword, this will really help us out because we already have Lurk, we already have Overwhelm. Fury, that means when we get Evolution, if we got it, we'd get 3/3. That can be very good. Power Overwhelming is fine. Again, helps us further our scaling. We are normally having a pretty big board, so this one's not bad. Or Enfeebling Strike, when you damage an enemy, reduce its power by the damage dealt. This one, if you're taking Pyke into harder encounters, where you're not just going to be able to steamroll the enemy, then Enfeebling Strike could be pretty good. For us, though, generally, we should be able to just roll over the enemy and outscale them. So we shouldn't really need Enfeebling Strike. Also, while Power Overwhelm would probably be the best thing to grab here, we're not really wanting this run to be kind of tainted with legendary powers. So I think we'll just go for the basic Dragon's Rage right here. All right, let's go. So we have Sejuani with Unstable Inventory. All right, so here we have our select screen for our cards. This is very important, and there's actually a lot to think about here. So for Pyke, you really want your free attacks. So you want to hold on to any units that have free attacks. So the Under Titan, great, 4 mana, be able to play this, get a free attack. We start with 3 mana because we're at 5 stars. So round 2, we'll be able to do this. We also see Bloodbait. This makes a Snapjaw Swarm. Another unit can get a free attack. So these are both very good cards. Then we look over here and we have the Monster Harpoon. This is a spell. One thing that is often pretty good to get is hold on to any cards that are going to keep you from lurking. Because if you have them in your hand, that means they're not going to be on the top of your deck. They're not going to mess up with your lurk. Now, we are at 6 stars, so we're going to lurk regardless, even if this was there. But even at 6 stars, while this won't stop us from lurking, if this is on top of our deck, we're going to draw it, but we would rather draw a follower. So this is a little rough. So sometimes keeping some of these cards that are going to be messing with your lurk or just keeping you from summoning followers are actually good to hold on to your opening hand just to keep them out of your deck. Petty Officer here, very good card. One issue though, we are not starting with the attack token. We want to be able to attack in our first turn if possible. So we're going to re-roll this card, hope that we can get a Snapjaw Swarm so we can immediately attack. We want to keep both of these to get those other free attacks later. And we want to hold on to the Monster Harpoon to keep us from being able to have this mess with our lurk in the future. So there's a lot of different things to think about when you are playing your Pyke. Now, right there, if we started with the attack turn, we would have kept that one card and not re-rolled it. But we were hoping to get our Snapjaw Swarm. Sadly, that didn't happen. Here, though, I think we'll play the Bloodbait so we get our Swarm on the top of our deck. And then we'll drop our Hammer Snout. And you see how our units are already getting some upgrades. That's because of our Beast Within. So here we have our units, and we have 2 different units that are able to get free attacks in. This is kind of always a decision for you. Do I want to use my free attacks on my attack turn to be able to get even more damage, or do I want to save them? Normally you want to make sure you have enough to be able to get those attacks in when you don't have the attack token. So here we have 2 of them, so I think we should be fine. They don't have unyielding, so we should be able to end this game fairly quickly. We should be able to end either between this round and next round, and then we have another attack turn. It's probably not going to go the 4 rounds to when we don't have the attack turn again and don't have a free attack. So here I think it's actually going to be fine for us to use one of our free attack cards, save one for next round, and then the round after that we have the attack token. So we'll drop the Snapdraw Swarm right here. Get our lurk off, try to summon a unit. Fantastic. Then right here we can attack, and we should be able to end the game. If not, next round we do another free attack, get our lurk off, further buff up all of our units, and then the round after we once again have the attack token, and we're like guaranteed to end right there. But this should be game right here. All right, GG. All right, so here we are able to select our units from the after combat rewards. And this is a spot where, since we have the 1 upgrade in our Constellation, as you see, these all have the Mariner's Ruse on it because they all cost more than 4. If you didn't have Mariner's Ruse, then you'd maybe even want to try to re-roll to get this something that costs 3 or less, because you really want to stay below that threshold if you just have the 4-star. Now, if you have Pyke, especially at 6 stars, sometimes getting more expensive units isn't bad because you can potentially cheat them out with the 6-star. Here though, even this one's more expensive, still not really going to be that great for us. And same with the Glinthorn. The Abyssal Guard looks like it'll be the best option here, but none of these are really fantastic for us. We would really like to get anything that's like a free attack. All right, looking at support champions then. So gotta click and see what everyone has. Again, this is another spot where if you just have your 4th star, you have to make sure you're only getting units that cost 3 or less. So here you'd probably want to go for Nami, so you can have 2 units that cost 3 or less. They're guaranteed to be lurkers, unless the Sandcrafter did have Mariner's Ruse, because it still can randomly roll for you. Here though, you'd really want to stay away from Soraka, because you're getting 1 unit, but you're getting a landmark, which you can't get lurk on, at least not this one. So this is just going to always be messing with your lurk. And then it comes with another spell, which you don't want, even if you are at 6 stars. So Soraka here would be terrible for you. Nami can potentially be good. Yes, there's 1 spell, which isn't great, but depending on your level, you're only going to be able to get 2 lurkers here. Because if you're just at your 4-star, you can get Nami and Coral creatures, or you get Azir and the Dune Keepers. For us though, since we do have the full Constellation, we can go here for Azir. This will be fine. All of these are lurkers, and they're all units, which is really good for us. So yeah, we'll grab this here. All right, champion item chest, really great to get more copies of Pyke in your deck so you can further progress your lurk and give you those deaths from below, which can be very impactful. So let's go here for Gangplank with Perfected Mana Flow. All right, so another start of the game, another very important decision. Now, we have Azir here. Azir is a champion, not a follower. If we take a look at the 6-star, when a card lurks, if it's a follower, summon it attacking. So whenever we attack, we want there to be a follower on the top of our deck so it can get summoned for free. Azir, if he's in our deck, he is going to be kind of messing with that. So keeping him in our opening hand, not bad. Right here, the Sandcrafter, not a bad card, but it is a 4 cost, so we can't play it round 1, so we don't really like that. Also, this is a follower, so if we attack with it lurking, we can summon it for free, and this doesn't have a free attack or anything on it, so this is something we want to get back in our deck. Try to cheat this out later. Dune Keeper is decent, and we have the Monster Harpoon. Again, we don't start with the attack token, so you can potentially try to reroll a little bit more to really try to get your free attack units. Here though, I don't want to have anything messing with my lurk, so I'm going to keep the Monster Harpoon and the Azir because those can potentially cause problems. We'll keep the Dune Keeper though. All right, so we got one of our free attacks. Nice, but we can't play it this round.
Be nothing left when I'm done.
All right, so we could drop our Azir immediately. Sure, I'll be fine with that.
You need not follow, but you will witness.
Big unit, try to keep them from attacking. We're gonna save this free attack because even though we could play it this round, this is our only free attack right now. So we really have to save this for next turn so we can try to get our attack on, continue our scaling with our lurk. Right now, let's just build out our board with a lot of these cheap units. All right, they're dropping to Make It Rain. That's fine. Not really surprised by that. That's why we played the 1 cost. We didn't want that to be able to kill our 3 cost. Alright, so here we can attack. And with that double attack, looks like we're going to be able to potentially end right here, which is just the great power of this scaling lurk and that paired with double attack. But again, wanting to save our free attack for next round so we can again get attack in, try to proc our 6-star power, but more importantly, just getting our lurk off every single round is kind of the most important part of playing Pyke. All right, GG. All right, so right here we have a 1-cost unit. That's always great. We know this is going to be able to get our lurk. Right of Calling, kill an ally to destroy one of your mana gems to draw a champion. We don't really care about that as much. We should be able to get our champion through drawing him anyway, especially since we're getting more copies. Boomerang Blade, like both these are spells, really fine with not having this in our deck. It's just going to cause problems with our lurk. So yeah, just grabbing Crackshot Corsair, this will be decent. All right, let's go get something for our champion. Reckoner's Mark can be very fun for you, really to be sure you're just getting more damage on your Pyke, getting an extra strike off. Now, Pyke stats aren't crazy. With this, he'd go up to a, well, 6-6, so it'd go to 5-5 with another 1-1 from the Beast Within, but that's just baseline. He's going to keep scaling from our lurk effect, and now that our lurk is also giving us health, Pyke is really going to be hitting quite hard. Also, even if Pyke dies from this, not that big of a deal, but if he doesn't die, he'll almost guarantee level and then just wipe the entire enemy board. So Reckoner's Mark, pretty fun right there. All right, so next up we have Poppy with Unstable Inventory. All right, start of the game, another important decision-making time. So Sandcrafter, follower, but expensive. We want to be able to cheat this out for free if we want, or if we can later. So we want to put that back in our deck. And then we have multiple other units, but we do start with the attack token here. So Petty Officer, very good opener if you have the mana for it. So we'll get rid of the Hammer Snout because we want to be able to try to get more of our free attacks. Great that we have one. We'll use this next round to trigger our lurk. So let's go with this right here. All right, we got one of our spells, and that's great. Get that out of our hand, or out of our deck, that is. And we have another free attack. That is wonderful. We could still go for the Petty Officer. Not bad. But now that we have 2 free attacks, and I know we have a lot of damage, we can potentially just go for the throat. We can drop the Dune Keeper here. Now we'll drop our Snapjaw Swarm. Get some good damage. All right, we weren't able to get another unit. Little sad. But we'll attack here and actually be able to end. And then next round, if we didn't end, we can drop the Under Titan to be able to again attack and put the pressure on. Your free attacks, very important. They can give you so much damage, but they're also your key to getting your lurk off in the other attack turn. And they're really some of the cards you have to be considering the most when you are playing. All right, let's go ahead and end right here. Yep, GG. All right, another after combat rewards. So let's see, we have a spell. Don't really want to deal with that. We have another spell. Again, don't really want that. And then we have a unit that costs 3 or less. This is obviously the best option for us right here. All right, Stilted Robemaker. Don't really care about any of these. We want our hand to be as consistent as possible. And yeah, we just don't really need any of this, so we'll just leave. Cutting a card isn't bad. It actually could be very good. We could go and get a power, but we're already kind of strong enough as it is. Let's go. So here, Kind of the cards you want to cut in priority is Monster Harpoon first. It's not a bad card, but it is just a spell. Getting rid of it will normally help you out. Then you can actually get rid of the Bone Skewer. You can already get some of these from Pike as his champion spell, and the item on it, not that big of a deal. It's better to just get rid of it. Bloodbait, you pretty much always want to keep this. For one, it has Lurk, so even if you don't have the 6-star, this is still not going to hurt your Lurk. But then also it's such a powerful effect, giving you another unit and also giving you a Snapjaw Swarm. So this is the one spell you want to keep. But other than that, always good to kind of cut some spells from your deck, because especially with our 6-star, every time we attack, we want to be summoning a follower if we can. But without the 6-star, you don't want those lurks being blocked by spells, landmarks, anything like that. All right, let's go for the first actual boss. So Ezreal with unstable inventory. All right, here we can get rid of Pyke. We don't need him in our opening hand at all. We're totally fine with drawing him later in the game. We can also get rid of the Sandcrafter and even, well, let's see. So they have the attack token first. So we have Snapjaw Swarm. We're going to have to play this turn 1 immediately just because we need to get our Lurk effect off. So yeah, we can get rid of the Exuberant, try to get some more units, especially cheap units for next round. We could potentially hold on to this to play next round on our attack if we wanted, but would like to get some very cheap units, especially our like 1 and 3 costs. Right here, Dune Keeper or our Petty Officer, or more of our free attacks. So you're here, gotta play this in order to get our free attack off. Perfect, able to summon another unit, further scaling up all of our units and just doing a lot of damage. So we don't want to drop our Dune Keeper since their ephemeral will get killed, but we can drop our other Sharkling here. All right, so we could go for the free attack, and we could probably end this game. So it wouldn't necessarily be the worst here, but since we only have 1 free attack unit, pretty good to try to save this for next round when we don't have the attack token, even though we can probably end right here. But we can drop our... I think we'll drop our Crackshot Corsair first to try to bait out any spells they have, and then we'll drop our Azir.
The world's a big place. Let's see all of it.
Here is going to be one thing that is a little bit of an issue, especially if you have Pyke at 6 stars. We could attack, but we're going to be having a full board, meaning if we trigger our 6-star, that unit is just going to get destroyed. So here, what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to hold back on the Crackshot Corsair. For one, Azir is going to summon another attacking Sand Soldier. We want to make the best use of our ephemerals, so I'm also going to bring back our Sharkling. This way, Azir summoning another Sand Soldier. But if our 6-star triggers, which we've tried our best to make sure that it will, we have space for another unit to get summoned. So let's go ahead, attack, and probably end right here. Yep, so we summoned another unit, summon the Sand Soldier, so we're just getting more free value and more damage. GG. Alright, so getting some more copies of Pyke. Fantastic. We haven't played him at all yet, but he's kind of our ace in the hole. If a game goes on longer and we're not able to end in these first couple rounds, then eventually we drop Pyke, he annihilates the entire board, wins us the game. Going for extra stats, not bad. Spell Shield could also be decent. We already have Fury from our first power. Picking up the raw stats could be okay, but I think we should be fine. We can just grab Spell Shield. All right, let's see what we get for our next power then. So Crush, if you don't already have this for your units, then this is going to be fantastic for you. For us, we already have Overwhelm, so we don't really need it. Chilling Prophecy, we're ending games before this is going to go off anyways. Really don't need it. Game Start Draw 2. This is actually quite nice. It increases your odds of, 1, getting cards out of your deck that are going to mess with your Lurk, so any spells you have or any champions that aren't going to get summoned by your 6-star. And then also, more chance to draw some of your free attack units, which can be very kind of game-changing and helpful for you. So Game Start Draw 2, actually pretty good for you. All right, so we have Ashe, not great. Or we have Fiora, and we see another champion item down here. Great, let's go for that. So Fiora with Duplicate. All right, so we have a free attack, good. We have one of our spells, nice to have this not in our deck. Crackshot Corsair and Hammer Snout, both good early game units, but we want more of our free attacks, especially since, again, we don't start with the attack token. We really want to get our 2-cost free attack. Right here, we know we're going to draw 2 more cards. I think we'll actually re-roll both of these. Now, it wouldn't be bad to potentially hold on to one of them to try to make sure we have something to play, but especially since we're drawing 2 extra cards now, from the power we just picked up, we should be able to get something in order to play, and we're just trying to increase our odds of getting that Snapjaw Swarm for the free attack round 1. Again, getting your lurk off every single round is really the most important part of playing Pyke. Alright, so unlucky, we got the spell that makes the Snapjaw Swarms, but we didn't actually get the swarm itself. Here, we'll drop the Dune Keeper just so that we have the 2 blockers.
The Emperor commands, the land obey.
And we'll drop one of these just so we get another Snapjaw Swarm. Alright, so we'll pass here. Alright, so here we actually have a decent amount of free attack units. We have 2 of them, and we can make another one. So playing a free attack unit here wouldn't be the worst. Also, one thing you can do, it's not necessarily the best, kind of depends on a situation, but we'll show you right here. So with your 6-star specifically, when a card lurks, if it's a follower, summon it attacking, otherwise draw it. You can guarantee to draw another Snapjaw Swarm or have it play attacking alongside you. Normally you're using this below the 6 stars to guarantee your lurk to make sure you're going to be getting it. But when you get after the 6 star, you can guarantee that you're going to summon another unit. This is really if you want to close out games, and be careful doing this because by summoning the unit for free, you're not getting its play effect of I start a free attack. So only use this if you want to put the pressure on the enemy and if you have extra free attacks lying around. If this was like our only other free attack, we wouldn't want to do it, but we'll show you right here. So we can play this at burst speed, drop our Snapjaw Swarm, and now we're guaranteed getting another one that's going to attack alongside. So if you just want to make sure you have that consistency to put a ton of pressure on the enemy, it can be pretty good. So right here now, we can attack, doing a bunch of damage, but we do have our Bone Skewer, which can still be very nice for putting some of these back on top of our deck, especially our Snapjaw Swarm, so we can try to play it again. So here, if we weren't going to end, or if one of these was going to die, we can use our Bone Skewer, get a strike off, put it back on our deck, so we can play it next round again as a free attack. So this should be enough damage, but this is something we can do. Anyways, GG. All right, so another set of followers. These 2, even though they don't say lurk, they're going to get lurk from our 4-star spell. Also, the Preservationist, play advanced and allied landmark 4 rounds. We're not going to have any allied landmarks, but this would just be a very large unit. So this would be a good unit that if you have your 6-star, it would be nice to try to cheat this out while you're attacking, just be a really big one for you. But here, the Warden's kind of the best because when I'm summoned, summon a random 1-cost follower. Summoning these extra units, especially ones that are going to be cheap like a 1-cost, are very good because they're going to be lurkers, because with your 4-star power, everything below a 3-cost is lurkers. So you're summoning 2 lurkers that are going to get all of these extra stats from us always attacking. So even though they're small units, the longer the game goes on, the bigger and bigger they get. So very good for just keeping the pressure on the enemy. Also, quick attack's pretty good as well. So yeah, this will be the best pickup here, unless you're going into a situation where it's like, man, I really need to destroy an enemy landmark, or you really have to get rid of an enemy's equipment, which doesn't really happen much in Path of Champions. So this one could be good for niche situations, but here, Warden's going to be the best pickup. All right, champion item. Scout, yep, that's pretty decent. Could go for the extra power just to make sure that he can kill all the enemy units. Here, though, the damage when we play him should be more than enough, so going for Scout will be fine. All right, Jhin with level up. All right, so we have a lot of really good units right here. We do start with the attack token, so it's not as necessary to have our free attack. I think we can get rid of the Exuberant, and I think we'll also get rid of the Hammer Snout. We're going to drop our Wardens round 1. Good to have our Azir, because he's then not in our deck, messing with our Lurk. Again, he will lurk if he's on the top of our deck, but since we have the 6-star, we always want the top of our deck to be a follower, so it'll be summoned attacking. Now here, we'd love to get a 1-cost to play with our Warden. Okay, perfect. We will drop this here. So here we have a bit of a decision. So we could drop this for more damage round 1, and we could play this before we attack. The issue is, yes, if we play this, we're going to get another unit to attack with, and we're going to get a guaranteed follower attacking alongside us. The problem is, by doing that, we're not going to have a free attack for next round. So that would be pretty bad. So what we're going to do here, we're going to attack with this first, putting the pressure on, getting our lurk off, and then after we have our attack declared, we then are going to play our Bloodbait so that next round we have our free attack. So here we'll attack. Great, we get another unit attacking alongside us. And then we can play our Bloodbait. Now, if we were going against a tougher opponent, this would definitely always be the right call. Here, since we're going up against Jhin, we have all this extra damage. We could have just gone like full aggro, put as much pressure on, and just ended round 1 because we're a fully maxed out Pyke. But normally when you're playing, you're not going to be stomping your opponent that hard. So that is why we're trying to make sure we get our free attack for next round. But since we are so much more powerful than them, we could have just gone full aggro and ended. But that's not necessarily what you want to be doing when you're playing your Pyke, especially when you're more leveling him up or you don't have such overwhelming power. So here, off turn, we don't have the attack token, and then we can still get our lurk off. Very important. Alright, so here, we can drop this Bone Skewer, and we'll pick this unit. We're just chunking them down so that our Overwhelm will essentially go through them and hit the Nexus. So, GG. Alright, so here we can get some more copies of our Bone Skewer. Again, it is a very good spell for you, so while you can definitely cut it to get it out of your hand, it is a good one to hold on to. Summoner Stone, we're still playing it pretty situationally though. Don't think we really want to summon another unit and also add 2 copies into your deck. It's nice to have, but we don't want to have too many of them. Dunebreaker, not bad, but the Caller is actually great. So play Predict. That is very good for you because when you predict, you see what the top of your hand is. So then before you attack, you can make sure you're going to have a lurker there. If you're below 6 stars, that just means you can guarantee your lurk. Fantastic. But if you are above 6 stars or at 6 stars, then you can guarantee what you want to get summoned for free when you're attacking. Because you'll get your Predict, you can try to pick whichever one's a follower, and then whatever the best follower is for you, so you can then make sure that that gets summoned while you're attacking. So the Caller and just Predicts in general, pretty good for you. This is great because it's a unit that's predicting, so quite nice right there. All right, let's see what we get from the shop here. A lot of spells and things we really don't care about. Yeah, we don't want to get any of our units. We already have a lot of great cards. We want to consistently get our free attacks. So really, if any of these had units that had free attacks, we would get them. Outside of getting a free attack or like an upgrade for what card we already have, we don't really need to pick up many things from the shop. Power, best defense. This is actually pretty nice. Our units are always going to have a higher attack than their health. For one, the Lurk gives you 2 power and 1 health after you get him to 3 stars. So this just makes our units very strong and very beefy so that the enemy can't kill them or have a hard time. So pretty good upgrade to pick up. So champion item chest or a shop. Again, liking to get more copies of Pyke. We're not really needing to play him too many times, but it's great that when you do play him, he'll just nuke the board. Going for shops though, not bad. Trying to focus on your units more, your powers, try to get some more free attacks. Also wouldn't be bad. But let's go ahead and go here for Jinx with the Unyielding Determination. All right, we have the attack token. That's really good. We want to make sure we can have some units to attack this round. So let's get rid of both of these followers. Hold on to the Bloodbait to get some more free attacks, and hold on to the Bone Skewer to make sure this isn't in our deck. All right, Petty Officer, good card for our first drop. All right, so we could play this to be very aggressive, but again, we don't have any other free attacks right now, which isn't really great for us. So I think I'm actually going to go for our Hammer Snout. All right, so we will attack like this. Once our attack is declared, great, we get another unit. And now we're going to play our Bloodbait, so that next card we draw is going to be a Snapjaw Swarm. We can play that our next turn, guarantee our lurk.
The sun got me good.
All right, so let's go ahead. One thing we could do if we wanted, we could play a Bone Skewer here to put one of these on the top of our deck and then drop our Snapjaw Swarm to guarantee draw them out. So if we wanted to do that for like our elusive, we could. And sure, let's do this here, get rid of their unit, get this on top of our deck so that it'll be played with our Swarm. All right, so let's drop this here. We know exactly what we're going to get. And now we're through their first health bar. All right, this can't block. Guess we might actually play our Pike for once. All right, so might as well drop him and just nuke their entire board. And yeah, as you can see, he has a pretty good stat line. So with this build, Pike has that quick attack and challenger.
Rules are made to be broken.
So when you have that, you want your Pike to be first. That way he can get a strike off and then he'll kill every other unit. Well, hopefully if he has enough power with him chaining kills. And here, we're going to keep our Hammer Snout back because it's our weakest unit. And this way, when we're attacked, we're leaving that one space open for the follower we're hopefully going to play. Also, we could play Pike with the Scout, but it's not really needed. So let's just go ahead and attack right here.
Captain's orders.
All right, GG. All right, so here we have the after credit or after combat rewards. So Dune Keeper, really great to have. Call the Pack is a interesting one though. For one, this is a spell that is going to have lurk, so even if you're below the 6 stars, that's still working for you. But to play, put a card from your hand on the top of your deck, create 2 random lurkers in hand. This is really good for you because it's generating some more lurkers for you, so those can be pretty good cards or cards you already have. But then putting a card on the top of your deck can be really good, especially after you get the 6 star, because let's say you drew one of your very big strong followers like Jack the Winner or something that's even bigger. You can then put that card on the top of your deck, attack, and then as long as that card's a follower, you know that you're not only going to get your lurk off, you're also going to summon it for free. So there are some fun things you can do with this. Normally it's not that necessary, so we'll go for the Dune Keeper here, but not a bad card to pick up. All right, champion item chest. So going for extra stats, so the Spirit or the +1 in Deathless, pretty good. When summon draw 1 can be okay, but yeah, extra damage for Pike, always great. And that kind of safety blanket with Deathless. If he does die, he'll then go ahead and get another strike off with his strike relics. So really making sure he's just annihilating the enemy board. All right, let's go ahead once again, cut a card. So Bone Skewer, this is one that really good. A lot of things you can do with it. Based on your personal play style, you might want to keep it. For me though, I like just making sure I have pretty much nothing but followers so that every time we attack, we're almost guaranteed to summon a unit attacking with us. So we can go ahead and get rid of it. All right, here, Viktor with duplicate. All right, so we don't start with the attack token. We want our free attack. We also want to get rid of our Pike. We want to draw him out later in the game. So let's get rid of Pike, get rid of the Exuberant. We can hold on to Azir because that way we don't have him messing up our lurk and not being a follower we can summon. And we'll go for the Collar because the Collar is pretty good. Hoping that we can definitely draw one of our free attacks though. There we go. Perfect.
What do I do?
All right, so let's drop this round one, get our lurk off. I guess the one bad thing about the Exuberant is him putting those slipstreams in the top of our deck. That is messing with our lurk, so that is something that's not great. But still, great stats on that card. All right, here we'll just take that damage. All right, so here we could try to go for a free attack for some more damage, but I think let's drop the Collar to make sure we can see what's on the top of our deck. All right, so we could summon a unit. We could summon a Pike, which will transform into a death from below. They don't have a lot of health left, so we should be able to end this round. So let's go for a Sharkling. All right, we'll drop a Dune Keeper here.
See what we see.
And then let's attack with this right here. And this should just be game. GG. All right, Ancient Coin, making our Pike cost a little bit less. That's not bad. All right, going for a power. So counterfeit production, this could be decent to shuffle some more of your, especially free attack cards like your Snapjaw Swarm. Shuffle a bunch more of those in your deck to increase the odds that you're going to get them when you're lurking, and then just having more of them for more free attacks. I think we'll go for the Officer backup though. Another unit on the board that's going to be a Lurker because they're under that 3 cost, and just another unit that can scale up and push more damage. Having extra units on your board is very good for you for Pike. All right, let's go ahead and go for that Katarina with duplicate. All right, let's go ahead. We do not have the attack token once again. We'll get rid of our Pike, and I think we will get rid of the Warden. We like having this as a solid 1-drop and holding on to Azir, but we want to get one of our free attacks if we can. We've had really bad luck this whole match of not drawing them, and also not starting with the attack token, which isn't great.
Never play fair.
All right, so we're not getting it, so we'll just build out our board then, and let's see what item we have. All right, epic item. So here, we could play our Pike normally, or we could also play Pike like this. This is a way that you can get multiple Pikes on the board, because you can have a Pike on the board and then also drop this and get another one. Whereas if we play this first, these Pikes will transform into his champion spell. We have a free attack, but we already have the attack token. Yeah, I think let's just drop our Pike. So one of our Pike got killed, but then gets resummoned. One away from leveling up. I guess we haven't had any of our lurks off, so we haven't gotten any scaling from that. So normally when you're playing Pike, he does get that scaling. Okay, I think what we'll do, we'll go ahead and use a Bone Skewer here. Would you see, we cut these from our hand, but we get more of them from Pike. So Pike, this will level him. He'll kill both of these. And then with our attack, he'll be drawn back out. That means we won't get a follower, but still we'll get another death from below. And this also means that they won't have any blockers. All right, so some decent damage down. Now the epic item you're getting, this is from our deadly harpoon, the Pike Relic, and Hextech Fabricator is fine, but you can get some other ones that are pretty crazy. Like this can give you the rally token, so that when you play this, you rally, which is obviously really good to again try to get a attack in on your off turn. Or you can get this with making it go down to like a 2 cost, some great cost reduction. There's a lot of really interesting things. Or this goes off twice. So the epic item, Hextech Fabricator is kind of the worst. There's some crazy things you can get with it. But let's drop our Snapjaw Swarm here to get our lurk off again. And we have another Pike. Alright, that's fine. Let's drop our Azir. And we'll just open attack next round. So, GG. Alright, some more after battle rewards. So pretty easy. We see 2 spells or more copies of our free attack unit. So obviously want to be going ahead and grabbing that here. Alright, shop, let's see. Any of these have free attacks? No, we've actually had pretty bad luck. Most of the other times we've been playing Pike, it's seen units with free attack that we can then pick up and add more to our deck. Not seen any of them though, a little sad. Mana flow, get an extra mana gem. Yeah, that's nice. I will grab it here. I was thinking if we got this at like the start of the game, probably wouldn't have grabbed it, just like we didn't get the legendary power because we didn't want to skew the game too much. But if you've watched at this point, you've seen a pretty good amount of what you can do with your early game with Pike. So helping us speed up our game's not bad. Here, let's go ahead and do a reroll. Try to see if we can get a free attack from anything. Rally is okay, but again, it's a spell and it's a 5 cost. So not really worth. If this was a lot cheaper, then it would be maybe worth picking up. Let's try one more reroll. Yeah, we've really not been getting good luck with these shops at all. It's giving us so many spells we do not care about. We'll grab 1 Dune Keeper, just get the item on him. And I guess, yeah, let's do 1 more reroll. Cataclysm, this is actually not bad, and Jarvan is a great support champion for you. This is normally a spell that can be worth picking up because an ally starts a free attack challenging an enemy. So it is a spell, it can mess with your lurk, but being able to get a free attack, especially on your off turns, still pretty good. So we won't grab it here, but if you see this, this is one of the spells that is worth considering. Same with Call the Pack. We'll just get another item for our Dune Keeper and carry on. So, oh, is that Zed with Perfected Mana Flow? Almost the worst possible combination, but Caitlyn with Duplicate. All right, a great start. We not only have the attack token, we have 2 of our lurkers. Let's get rid of this. Those slipstreams can be a little bit annoying. Hammer Snout, okay, but we can do better. All right, so more free attacks. This is great. Then we can be pretty liberal with these, playing them pretty much whenever we want. Also, yeah, we start with 4 mana, so we could just drop our Pike round 1. Let's see. We do have the attack token here. Yeah, I think actually just building out our board will give us more damage. So we can go ahead and drop our Azir and our Dune Keeper. We'll play this first as a bit of bait, just in case we want to use a removal spell.
My name will echo through the ages.
All right, so here we're leaving 2 spots open, 1 for the other unit that Azir is going to summon, and then 1 more for whatever other unit we can hopefully get from our top deck. There we go, perfect. So, oh, there's most of their health gone. All right, let's drop this with our barrier. Goodness, they're making us draw too many cards. Oh, and those flash bombs are a little rough.
No backup needed.
All right, so that Caitlyn is a little bit scary. Yeah, they will be able to do a lot of damage. It is a little worrying. I think we'll actually drop this first just so we have enough blockers so their Caitlyn can't get through and hit our Nexus. Because right now, if we just dropped our Snapjaw Swarm, they would potentially be able to drag our 2 units aside and have Caitlyn hit us. So we'll drop this first. We could drop Pyke and kill their whole board, but I think we'll hold off for now.
To meet you.
Because at this moment, Pyke would also die.
Minding details is my duty.
All right, let's go ahead and drop this here.
Turning yourself in.
All right, so nice full board, and they're wanting to block with their Caitlyn. Fantastic.
No stone unturned.
All right, we can just get rid of both of these. All right, we'll open attack, and that'll be game. Aw, sad. Yep, GG. Alright, so after combat rewards, the list can be okay, but still, like, you can get it for free attacks, but still another spell. Not really something you normally want to do. Leader can be okay. A 1-cost ally starts a free attack, so if you consistently have other 1-cost units, which often you will, another way you can try to get a free attack going. I think we'll go for the Hammer Snout, though. Well, yeah, we do have Dunekeeper, Crackshot Corsair, Sharklane. Yeah, we can try to go for the leader. The one issue is the most time we need our free attack right now is turn 1, and this isn't really going to be able to give that. Well, we do have 1 extra mana, so maybe. Yeah, we can go this, try to get another free attack. A little bit inconsistent for us, but we can maybe make it work. All right, Zed with Perfected Mana Flow. All right, let's see. So we can play Pyke turn 1, so getting rid of him immediately is not as needed. Let's get rid of the Exuberant. And yeah, I think let's also get rid of our Pyke. We could try to get a free attack turn 1. We have so many Pikes, we're going to draw him without a problem. All right, so looks like, yep, still nothing to give us our attack immediately. So I think we'll just drop our Pyke and kill their Zed. Always good to kill Pyke or kill Zed before he can get his attack off. All right, so here we're going to have plenty of ways to get our other attack in with all these blood baits. Sure, I think let's get our scout attack off, and we can just try to end this round. So we'll guarantee that we're going to summon another unit here. All right, and we can just attack and end the game. GG. All right, last out of combat rewards. We'll get the Sandcrafter here. Follower, don't really want to go for the other 2 because, again, both spells, even though the list can be decent. So yeah, we'll grab this. If we can draw this out with our 6-star, then this would be really, really good. All right, let's see. Aurelion Sol with Unyielding Determination. All right, let's see here. Again, we don't start with the attack token. I feel like we've only gotten like 1 or 2 times where we have the attack token. Let's, yeah, get rid of most of these. Even some of these are really good cards. We really want to be able to get our Lurk off. Okay, not bad. We have a 1 cost, and then we have our leader. So yeah, it will work out, but kind of just because we have so much extra mana.
Shape the skies and mold the earth. We are nothing.
All right, we'll,
Talk this out.
I guess, put this here. All right, let's drop our leader to get a free attack to try to get our Lurk off. Fantastic.
Bullet to the face.
All right, I think we'll potentially drop our Pike so that he can level, clear their board, and then just having to level Pike on the board will be nice. So we can get rid of this. It's kind of the most useless.
I'm just getting started!
As foretold, added to the bronze list.
All right, so they don't have a lot of mana, so we know that they're not really going to be able to do much against us. We also have our scout attack. Ooh, we might summon a unit here which could get destroyed. Still, yeah, worth it. Let's get our scout attack off. All right, so we already know that we summoned something and it kind of didn't work, but let's go ahead and attack like this. We'll play one of these after we attack so we can have our free attack next round, but this will be good for getting through their first amount of health. Although let's slightly reorganize this just so that we're not wasting as much damage. All right, yeah, this is probably the best we'll be able to do. Still getting through a lot of their health. If they didn't have the second health bar, they would be toast right here. All right, we'll play one of these just so we get a Snapjaw Swarm next round.
Hello, Runeterra. Let's rock!
Yeah, we can get rid of this one. Ooh, that was kind of like the perfect thing for us to pull out there.
I protect this place.
All right, so one thing we could do, we could have Pike go ahead and nuke both of these. Sure, it's not needed, but let's just go out with a bang. GG. All right, so that was our gameplay guide video for Pike. I hope this really helped you out. I know it was a pretty long video, but we're trying to take our time and really talk through everything. I know with a lot of the videos that we make, while I do still try to give you these helpful tips and tricks throughout, I know it's not as much of a dedicated guide gameplay video. So hope this helped you out. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, then a like and subscribe is greatly appreciated. I hope you have a great rest of your day.